Hi students, welcome back to All Force e-learning online classes. In last class, we discussed about trial and error method to solve the given polynomial equation, multiple roots in a polynomial equation, nature of the roots in polynomial equation, Descartes' sign rule, properties of continuous functions, that means polynomial function, next transformation of equations. First, trial and error method. In this method, we find one of the root by using substitution method, by verification method. Suppose alpha is any number such that f of alpha is equal to 0, then alpha is said to be one of the root in the equation f of x is equal to 0. Here alpha is one of the root. That means this method is said to be trial and error method. Okay. Next, multiple roots. If one of the root in the given polynomial equation repeated 2 or more than 2 times, then it is said to be multiple root. If alpha is repeated 2 or more than 2 times, alpha is said to be multiple root. If it appears m times, then it is said to be multiple root of order m. Suppose x minus 1 whole power 5 into x minus 2 whole cube into x plus 3 is equal to 0. It is the polynomial equation of degree 9. In this case, 1 is one of the root and it appears 5 times. So, 1 is the multiple of root of order 5. Here 2 is the multiple root of order 3. Here minus 3 not repeated. So, it is said to be simple root. Okay. Next, in a multiple roots, if alpha is a multiple root of order m in f of x is equal to 0, then alpha is also a multiple root of order m minus 1 in f dash x is equal to 0. Alpha is also a multiple root of order m minus 2 in f double dash x is equal to 0, so on. In simply, if f of alpha is equal to 0 and f dash alpha is equal to 0, f double dash alpha not equal to 0, that means alpha is a repeated root of order 2. Suppose f of alpha is equal to 0, f dash alpha is equal to 0, f double dash alpha is equal to 0 and f triple dash alpha not equal to 0, then alpha is the repeated root of order 1, 2, 3, 3. Okay. Similarly, order 4, order 5, we find the multiple root to order in this way. Next, nature of the roots in the polynomial equation. If the coefficients of the polynomial equation are real, imaginary roots are obtained pairwise and they are always conjugate complex numbers. If one of the root is p plus iq, other root must be p minus iq. If the coefficients are a complex numbers, that means imaginary, then imaginary roots need not be obtained pairwise. If one of the root is p plus iq, then other root need not be p minus iq. Okay. Next, if the coefficients of the polynomial equation are rational numbers, then irrational roots are obtained pairwise and at the same time they are conjugate surds. Suppose one of the root is p plus root q, other root must be p minus root q. If the coefficients are irrational, then irrational roots need not be obtained pairwise. Okay. Next, if the coefficients in the given polynomial equation all are positive, then number of positive roots, positive real roots of that equation is 0. Okay. Next, every odd degree polynomial equation with real coefficients having at least one root, since imaginary roots are obtained pairwise. So, every odd degree polynomial equation having at least one real root. Okay. These are the nature of the roots. Next, Descartes' sign rule. Let f of x is equal to 0 be the any polynomial function. If n1 be the number of changes of signs in f of x is equal to 0, then we get at most n1 positive real roots. In the equation f of minus x is equal to 0, if we get n2 changes of signs, then that equation having at most n2 negative roots. So, number of real roots of that equation is at most n1 plus n2. At the same time, number of imaginary roots is equal to at least n minus of n1 plus n2. Total number of roots n minus real. All the remaining are imaginary. Okay. Next, properties of the continuous functions. Suppose m comma n are two numbers such that m less than n. If f of m into f of n is less than 0, f of m into f of n is less than 0, that means f of m is positive, f of n is negative or reverse. In this case, we get odd number of roots in between m and n. the equation f of x is equal to 0 having odd number of real roots in between m and n. If that means f of m, f of n having opposite signs. Okay. Next, f of m comma f of n having same signs, then there will be no real roots or even number of real roots in between the two real numbers m and n. Next, transformation of equations. Transformations of equations, f of x is equal to 0 is one of the equation. The roots 1 by alpha 1, 1 by alpha 2, so on is f of 1 by x. So, these are the transformations equations. So on, we discussed about 8 cases. Please see that conditions. Okay. Next. Suppose a naught x cube plus a1 x square plus a2 x plus a3 is equal to 0 is one of the cubic polynomial equation. This equation having 3 roots. Suppose alpha, beta, gamma, delta be the alpha, beta, gamma be the 3 roots in that equation. Alpha plus beta plus gamma is equal to minus a1 by a naught s1. Alpha beta plus beta gamma plus gamma alpha is equal to a2 by a naught. Alpha beta gamma is equal to minus a3 by a naught. s1, s2, s3. Okay. Next, suppose alpha comma beta comma gamma are the roots of the equation. Then the polynomial equation is x cube minus alpha plus beta plus gamma into x square plus alpha beta plus beta gamma plus gamma alpha into x minus alpha beta gamma is equal to 0. Similarly, what is the expansion of x minus alpha into x minus beta into x minus gamma? Please note these points. First one, x minus alpha into x minus beta into x minus gamma is equal to x cube minus alpha plus beta plus gamma into x square plus alpha beta plus beta gamma plus gamma alpha into x minus alpha beta gamma. It is s1, it is s2, that is s3. X cube minus s1 x square plus s2x minus s3. Next, second one, x plus alpha into x plus beta into x plus gamma. Here, all the coefficients are positive. So, we get all our positive signs, same result. X cube plus alpha plus beta plus gamma into x square plus alpha beta plus beta gamma plus gamma alpha into x plus alpha beta gamma. Okay. Next, third one, let alpha beta gamma be the roots in the cubic equation ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d is equal to 0. Then sigma alpha square beta. Sigma alpha square beta means alpha square beta plus alpha square gamma, beta square alpha plus beta square gamma plus gamma square alpha plus gamma square beta. It contains 6 terms. That value is equal to s1 s2 minus 3 s3. Suppose alpha beta gamma and delta are 4 roots in the 4th degree equation, then sigma alpha square beta is equal to s1 s2 minus 4 s4. It contains 4 roots, so 4 s3, sorry, s1 s2 minus 4 s3. Okay, these two are very, very important. Please note these points. Next, fifth one, let alpha be the one of the common root for both of the equations f of x is equal to 0 and g of x is equal to 0. That means f of alpha is equal to 0, g of alpha is equal to 0. It is the common root for both of the polynomial equations. Then it holds the following conditions. First one, alpha is also the root of f of x plus g of x. Suppose by adding these two polynomial equations, that equation also satisfies alpha. Here f of alpha is equal to 0, g of alpha is equal to 0. By substituting alpha, f of alpha plus g alpha is equal to 0, 0 is equal to 0. So it is true. Similarly, alpha is also the root of f of x minus g of x. F of x minus g of x is equal to 0. Next, third one, a comma b any real numbers, a comma b be any real numbers, then alpha satisfies a into f of x plus b into g of x is equal to 0. Here also f of alpha 0, g of alpha 0. By substituting alpha in this equation, a into f of alpha, that means a into 0, 0, b into 0, 0, 0 is equal to 0. It is true. It also satisfies alpha. That means alpha is one of the root in this equation. Similarly, alpha is also the root of a into f of x minus b into g of x is equal to 0. Okay. Similarly, let alpha comma beta are two roots of the equations f of x is equal to 0 and g of x is equal to 0. That means alpha beta is the root of fx is equal to 0 and alpha beta are also roots of g of x is equal to 0. In the same way, f of x plus g of x is equal to 0 satisfies both alpha and beta. Alpha is the root, beta is the root. f of x minus g of x also satisfies alpha beta. A into f of x plus g into f of x is equal to 0. In this case also the roots are alpha beta. In this case also roots are alpha comma beta. Very, very important point. Next one. Let f of x is equal to ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d is equal to 0 be a cubic equation. It is one of the cubic equation. If the roots in f of x is equal to 0 are in AP, what is the relation between these coefficients? That relation is 2b cube plus 27a square d is equal to 9abc. Suppose these roots are in GP, the relation between ABC is AC cube is equal to b cube d. Next, suppose these roots are in HP, the relation between the coefficients is 2c cube plus 27ad square is equal to 9bcd. These are the standard values, very, very important. Proof. First given equation, f of x is equal to ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d is equal to 0. It is the cubic equation. Let us assume the roots are in AP. AP means a minus d, a plus d. A minus d, a plus d. But here a and d present. So we take the roots are alpha minus beta, alpha plus beta. The difference between these two values is beta. The difference between these two values is beta. So these are in AP. Let alpha minus beta, alpha plus beta be roots of that given equation. These must be in AP. Okay. Now we know that the sum of the roots is equal to minus b by a, s1. Sum of the roots s1 is equal to minus a1 by a0. Sum of the product of the values taken to at a time s2 is equal to a2 by a0. Product of the roots is equal to minus a3 by a0. Now we know that s1 is equal to minus a1 by a0. That means s1 means alpha plus beta plus gamma. Sum of the roots beta cancel. 3 alpha is equal to minus a1 means minus b by a. That means alpha is equal to minus b by 3a. Alpha is equal to minus b by 3a. Here the roots are alpha minus beta, alpha plus beta. The value of alpha is minus b by 3a. It is one of the root. It is one of the root. It is one of the root. Alpha is one of the root in this equation. Therefore, f of alpha must be 0. Alpha satisfies that equation. Alpha means minus 3 by a. That means f of minus b by 3a is equal to 0. That implies a into minus b by 3a whole cube plus b into minus b by 3a whole square plus c into minus b by 3a plus d is equal to 0. That implies minus a b cube by 27a cube plus b cube by b square into b by 9a square minus bc by 3a plus d by 1 is equal to 0. Here a cube square times 27a square cancel, a cancel. Here LCM is 27a square minus b cube plus here 9a square, that means 3b cube minus 27a square means 9abc plus 27a square d is equal to 0. After cross multiplication we get 2b cube minus 9abc plus 27a square d is equal to 0. That means 2b cube plus 27a square d is equal to 9abc. 2b cube plus 27a square d is equal to 9abc. It is the required proof. Okay. Next, second one. Here f of x is equal to ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d is equal to 0. In this case, the roots are in GP. GP means a, ar square, so on. These are in GP. Let alpha by beta, alpha beta be the roots of this equation. Here T2 by T1 is equal to beta, T3 by T2 is equal to beta. These are in GP. The roots are in GP. Okay. In this case also we know that S1, S2, S3. S1 is equal to minus A1 by A0, S2 is equal to A2 by A0, S3 is equal to minus A3 by A0. Now S3 is equal to minus A3 by A0. Now we find one of the root, possible root. S3 is equal to minus A3 by A0. S3 means alpha by beta into alpha beta is equal to minus A3 means minus D by A. Okay, here beta cancel. That means alpha cube is equal to minus D by A. What is the value of alpha? Alpha is equal to minus D by A whole power 1 by 3. That means alpha is equal to minus of D by A whole power 1 by 3. We get alpha is equal to minus D by A whole power 1 by 3. But alpha is one of the root in this equation. Similarly, f of alpha is equal to 0. Therefore, f of alpha is equal to 0. F of alpha is equal to 0. That means f of minus of D by A whole power 1 by 3 is equal to 0. Put x is equal to minus D by A whole power 1 by 3 in this equation. A into minus D by A whole power 1 by 3 whole cube means minus of D by A, okay, minus of D by A plus B into minus D by A whole power 1 by 3 whole square. That means whole square means positive, D by A whole power 2 by 3. Next, plus C of minus D by A whole power 1 by 3, minus D by A whole power 1 by 3. Next, plus D is equal to 0. Okay, that means A cancel, minus D plus B into D power 2 by 3 by A power 2 by 3 minus C into D power 1 by 3 by A power 1 by 3 plus D is equal to 0. Here what is the LCM? Here DD cancel. DD cancel. LCM is A power 2 by 3. LCM is A power 2 by 3. Here B into D power 2 by 3 minus C into D power 1 by 3 into A power 1 by 3 is equal to 0. Okay. After cross multiplication, we get B into D power 2 by 3 is equal to C into D power 1 by 3 into A power 1 by 3. Okay. Here D power 1 by 3, 2 power 1 by 3 means cancel 1, D power 1 by 3. After cubing on both sides, we get B cube D is equal to C cube A. That means AC cube is equal to B cube D. If the roots are in GP, the standard condition is AC cube is equal to B cube D. Okay, that is the required proof. Next, third one. If the roots in f of x is equal to 0 are in HP, then what is the condition? In this case, the roots are in HP. Roots are in HP. Let alpha, beta, gamma be the roots in HP. Then 1 by alpha, 1 by beta, 1 by gamma must be in AP. 1 by alpha, 1 by beta, 1 by gamma are in AP. That means the roots, the transformed equation whose roots are 1 by alpha, comma, 1 by beta, comma, 1 by gamma is f of 1 by x is equal to 0. In f of 1 by x is equal to 0, the roots are in AP. Already we proved what is the condition if the roots are in AP, 2bq plus 27a square d is equal to 9abc. We use that property. In this case, f of 1 by x is equal to 0. Roots are in AP. Okay, f of 1 by x means a by x cube plus b by x square plus c by x plus d is equal to 0. After LCM, x cube is the LCM. After cross multiplication, dx cube plus cx square plus bx plus a is equal to 0. In this case, the roots are in AP. The roots are in AP. It is in the form of ax cube plus bx square so on. It is a, it is b, it is c, it is d. Substitute these values in the equation 2 cube is equal 2b cube plus 27a square d is equal to 9abc. We get final result. If the roots are in HP, f of 1 by x is equal to 0. The roots in f of 1 by x is equal to 0 are in AP. So we use AP condition. Okay. Next, we discuss about nature of roots in cubic equation. Nature of roots in cubic equation, it is very important. Okay. First, let f of x is equal to x cube plus ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0 be the given polynomial equation where ABC belongs to R, then what is the nature of the roots in the given cubic equation? Generally, the cubic equation is in this type. Ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d is equal to 0. To find the nature of the roots, first we reduce the equation into standard, that means leading coefficient is equal to 1 to reduce the given equation in where the cube leading coefficient is 1. That means it can be divided on both sides with a, it can be reduced into x cube plus b by a into x square plus c by ax plus d by a is equal to 0. It can be reduced into x cube plus b by x square plus c by x plus d by a. It can be taken as a, it can be taken as b, it can be taken as c. That means x cube plus ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. X cube plus ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Okay. To find the nature of the roots, first we find f dash x, derivative concept. F dash x is equal to 3x square plus 2ax plus b. It is the quadratic. Now we find the discriminant delta. Delta is equal to b square minus 4ac. Delta is equal to b square minus 4ac. That means 4a square minus 4 into 3 into b. That means 4 of a square minus 3b. If this delta is equal to 0, the roots in this f dash x is equal to 0 are real and equal. If delta less than 0, the roots in f dash x is equal to 0 are imaginary. If delta greater than 0, the roots in this f dash x is equal to 0 are real and distant. So we get 3 possibilities. Now case 1. Let us assume delta less than 0. This discriminant less than 0. Now f dash x is equal to 3x square plus 2ax plus b. Here the leading coefficient of x square is 3. That means it is positive and delta less than 0. In a quadratic expressions, ax square plus bx plus c, a greater than 0, delta less than 0, what is the condition? The graph is a greater than 0 means strictly above the x-axis upwards. Delta less than 0 means it never cuts the x-axis. That means the graph is strictly above the x-axis. That means this function value is always positive. F dash x is always greater than 0 for all x belongs to R. 3x square plus 2ax plus b is greater than 0 for all x belongs to R. That means f dash x greater than 0. F dash x greater than 0 means f of x is strictly increasing function. F of x is strictly increasing function. Strictly increasing function, suppose this function is in this way, strictly increasing function, this way or this way. Suppose f of x is equal to ax cube plus ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. At x is equal to 0, the function value is f of 0 is equal to c. That means it cuts the y-axis at 0 comma c. If c greater than 0, the curve cuts the y-axis in positive direction. If c less than 0, the cuts the y-axis in negative direction. Okay, it is strictly increasing function. So the graph is in this way. For getting the solutions, if this graph cuts the x-axis at 1 point, we get 1 solution. It cuts 2 points, 2 solutions. 3 points, we get 3 solutions. Strictly increasing function always cuts the x-axis at only 1 point. So x naught is the one of the root. Say this value is x naught. If c greater than 0, the root x naught must be negative. If c greater than 0, the root must be negative. In this case, c less than 0. If c less than 0, the root x naught is always greater than 0. In the given polynomial function cubic equation, if f dash x greater than 0 for all x belongs to R, then it is strictly increasing function. Every strictly increasing function must be intersect the x-axis at only 1 point. So we get 1 solution only. The remaining actually this equation contains 3 solutions. One is the real, that means the remaining 2 are imaginary. Okay. If delta less than 0, in f dash x is equal to 0, delta less than 0, 1 real and 2 imaginary roots. Very, very important. Please note this diagram and proof also. Next, case 2. Let us assume the discriminant delta greater than 0 in f dash x is equal to 0. Discriminant greater than 0 in f dash x is equal to 0. F dash x means it is the quadratic. If delta greater than 0, it has 2 real and distant roots. 2 real and distant roots. So f dash x is equal to 0 have 2 real roots. Okay. Say x1 comma x2 be the 2 roots of that equation f dash x is equal to 0. Here x1 less than x2. They are different. Let x1 less than x2. x1 comma x2 are 2 roots. Suppose alpha comma beta are 2 roots in the quadratic equation ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Then the expression ax square plus bx plus c is equal to a of x minus alpha into x minus beta. The expression ax square plus bx plus c is equal to leading coefficient into x minus alpha into x minus beta. So Here f dash x means 3x square plus 2ax plus b is equal to 3 of x minus x1 into x minus x2. That means f dash x is equal to 3 of x minus x1 into x minus x2. Here f dash x is equal to 0, yet f dash x is equal to 0, yet x1 comma x2. That means x1 comma x2 are turning points of the graph. At that points we get max or minimum. In first year we know about the turning points. Forget maximum minimum value, critical points, turning points. Okay. At x1 comma x2 we get maximum or minimum values. Okay. Next. Suppose the function is increasing, f dash x is greater than 0. For decreasing, f dash x is less than 0. Let f dash x less than 0. F dash x means 3 into x minus x1 into x minus x2 less than 0. 3 of x minus x1 into x minus x2 less than 0. That means x minus x1 into x minus x2 less than 0. If x minus alpha into x minus beta less than 0, x belongs to alpha to beta. That means x belongs to x1 comma x2, lies in the interval x1 comma x2. Okay. Next, let us assume f of x is increasing function. That means f dash x greater than 0. X belongs to greater than 0 means does not lies in between x1 to x2. That means x belongs to minus infinite to x1 union x2 to infinite. F dash x greater than 0 when x belongs to minus infinite x1 union x2 to infinite. That means the turning points of the graphs are x1 comma x2 and the f of x is decreasing. Less than 0 means decreasing in the interval x1 comma x2, increasing from minus infinite to x1 or x2 to infinite. Okay. Now the possible graphs. Here there are 5 possibilities. First, the turning points of the graph are x1 comma x2. The graph turns at x1 comma x2. Here the leading coefficient is positive. Leading coefficient is positive. By using wavy curve methods we find first one alpha, beta, gamma are 3 roots, plus, minus, plus, minus. So the graph is in this way. Okay, the graph is in this way. By using this, leading coefficient is positive. By using this, the graph turns at x1 comma x2. Turning means this is x1, say this is x1, this is x2. The possible case, the graph is in this way. It is the f of x graph. It is the f of x graph. x1 is one of the turning point, x2 is another turning point. In this case, f of x1 is greater than 0, f of x2 is less than 0. x1 comma x2 are 2 different values. That means f of x1 greater than 0, f of x2 less than 0 means finally we get f of x1 greater than 0, f of x2 less than 0. That implies f of x1 comma f of x2 having opposite signs. That means less than 0. If f of x1 into f of x2 less than 0, we get how many solutions in this case? This graph cuts the x-axis at this point, this point, this point. That means 3 points. That is, the graph cuts the x-axis at 3 points. So it has 3 real and distant roots. If f of x1 into f of x2 less than 0, the graph contains 3 real and distant roots. Real and distant roots. Maximum possible roots of cubic equation is 3. So all of these 3 roots are real and distant when f of x1 and f of x2 less than 0. Okay. Next, second possibility. The graph is in this way. At x1 it turns and x2 turns. In this case, the function value above the x1 is positive. At x1 is positive, x2 is negative. Here, the function value at x2 is also positive. The graph turns. Okay. In this case, f of x1 is greater than 0. F of x2 is also greater than 0. The graph turns at 2 points, x1, x2. Okay. In this way. Here, f of x1 greater than 0. F of x2 is also greater than 0. That means both having same signs. F of x1 into f of x2 greater than 0 finally. In this case, the curve cuts the x-axis at only one point. That means we get only one real root. But actually the equation having 3 roots. But here we get only one real root. That means the remaining 2 roots are imaginary. If f of x1 into f of x2 greater than 0, that means we get one real root and 2 imaginary roots. Okay. Next possibility. The graph is in this way. The graph turns at x1, at x2, x1 less than x2. Here f of x1 is equal to, f of x1 is negative, f of x1 is negative, and also f of x2 negative. Please observe this point. At x1 the function value is f of x1, that is negative, f of x2 is also negative. Both having same signs. That means f of x1 into f of x2 is greater than 0. In this case, the curve cuts the x-axis at only one point. That means we get only one real root. The remaining are imaginary. If f of x1 and f of x2 greater than 0, we get one real and two imaginary. These two are same way. If f of x1 and f of x2 greater than 0, one real, two imaginary. Here also f of x1 and f of x2 greater than 0, we get one real and two imaginary. Next, fourth possibility. Fourth one. This one. It is at x1 the graph turns at x1 and x2. But at x2 the graph touches the x-axis. In a quadratic, if the graph cuts at two different points, you get two solutions. If it touches the x-axis at one point, it has two roots. The two roots are equal. If the graph touches the x-axis, then both roots are coincide at that point. Okay, it is very, very important point. That means here f of x1 is positive, f of x1 is positive, f of x1 greater than 0 and f of x2 is equal to 0. That means f of x1 into f of x2 is equal to 0. In this case, the graph cuts the x-axis at this point and touches at this point. Touches means in this case we get two roots. The two roots are equal. Here one root. That means finally we get three real roots. Finally we get three real roots. Out of these, we get three real roots. Out of these, two are equal and one is different of these two values. We get three real roots. Two are equal, one is different. In some cases, he asked in this way. How many different roots are there? Different roots are there means these two are equal. So this can be taken as 1, this can be taken as 1. So number of different roots is equal to 2. Actually we get three real roots. Out of these two are identical. One is different. Okay. Next. Fifth possibility. Fifth possibility. Suppose the graph is in this way. At x1 it turns and x2 also it turns. Okay, at x1, x2 it turns. Here f of x1 is equal to, suppose this is in this way. In this way. At x1 is equal to graph turns and x2 also it is turns. Yet f of x1 function value is equal to 0. F of x2 is less than 0. But f of x1 into f of x2 is equal to 0. F of x1 into f of x2 is equal to 0. In this case, the graph cuts the x-axis at one point and touches at one point. Touches means we have two roots and the roots are equal. Okay. The graph touches the x-axis means we have two real roots. The two roots are equal. That means we get three real roots. Two are equal and one is different. Finally, by using these 5 conditions, we get only 3 cases. That cases are, if f of x1 into f of x2 less than 0, f of x1 into f of x2 less than 0, we get 3 real and distant roots. 3 real and distant roots. First one, okay. Let x1 comma x2 are 2 roots, real roots in f dash x is equal to 0 such that f of x1 into f of x2 less than 0, we get 3 real and distant roots. If f of x1 into f of x2 greater than 0, f of x1 into f of x2 greater than 0, we get 1 real and 2 imaginary. Here also 1 real and 2 imaginary. These two are identical. 1 real and 2 imaginary. Next, final, f of x1 into f of x2 is equal to 0. If f of x1 and f of x2 is equal to 0, we get 3 real roots. Out of these, 2 are identical, 1 is different. 2 are identical and 1 is different. Next, case 3. Next, case 3. Let us assume delta is equal to 0. Let us assume delta is equal to 0. That means the quadratic equation having 2 equal roots. two equal roots. Let x1 comma x1 be the two real roots of that equation. That means this f dash x can be reduced into 3x square plus 2ax plus b can be reduced into 3 of x minus x1 into x minus x1. That means 3 of x minus x1 whole square. F of x can be reduced into 3 of x minus x1 whole square. Okay. If delta is equal 0, the roots in f dash x is equal 0 are equal. Say that roots are x1 comma x2, then it can be reduced into 3 of x minus x1 whole square. In this case, f of x1 is equal to 0. That means one of the root in f dash x is equal to 0 is x1. Okay. By using the multiple roots concept, if f of x1 is equal to 0 and f dash x1 is equal to 0, then if f of x1 is equal to 0, f dash x1 is equal to 0 and f double dash x1 is equal to 0, then we get one of the root x1 and it is repeated 3 times. It is repeated 3 times. Here f dash x is equal to 3 of x minus x1 whole square. F double dash x is equal to 6 of x minus x1. F of f dash x1 is equal to 0, f double dash x1 is equal to 0. Here f of x1 is also 0, these two must be 0. If f of x1 is also 0, then x1 is the one of the root and it repeated 3 times. It repeated 3 times. Okay. Suppose f of x1 not equal 0, f of x1 not equal 0, that means x1 is not a root, then f dash x is always greater than 0. F dash x is equal to 3 of x minus x1 whole square. Here x minus x1 not equal 0. So it is always positive, strictly increasing. Every strictly increasing function having only one root. If in this case, if f of x1 is equal to 0, x1 is the repeated root and it appears 3 times. If f of x1 is not equal to 0, then we have only one root. We have only one root. That means the remaining 2 roots are imaginary. Okay. These 3 cases are very, very important. Okay. Next, one of the example. Find the nature of the roots in the cubic equation. Find the nature of the roots in the cubic equation x cube minus 3x plus 1 is equal to 0. Say this value is f of x. One of the example. First we find f dash x. What is the value of f dash x? 3x square minus 3. Okay. For getting stationary values, f dash x is equal to 0. F dash x is equal to 0. Here delta means delta is equal to b square minus 4ac. B square means 0, minus 4ac means positive. Delta greater than 0. That means we get 2 solutions. What are the solutions of f dash x is equal to 0? For getting solutions f dash x is equal to 0, that means 3 of x square minus 1 is equal to 0. X square minus 1 is equal to 0 means x is equal to plus or minus 1. Here x1 is equal to minus 1, x2 is equal to plus 1. 2 values. In this case, we get 2 roots. That means case 2. In case 2 already we discussed about x1 and x2, relation between the values of x1 and x2. If f of x1 into f of x2 less than 0, we get 3 real and distant roots. If this value is equal to 0, we get 3 real roots out of these 2 are equal. If f of x1 and f of x2 greater than 0, we get only 1 real and 2 imaginary roots. By using this, we find the nature of the roots. Now, f of x1 value. Now, f of x1 is equal to f of minus 1. That means minus 1 whole cube means minus 1. Minus of minus plus 3 plus 1. That is equal to value 4 minus 1 3. Next f of x2. That means f of 1. F of 1 is equal to 1 minus 3 plus 1. That is equal to 2 minus 3 minus 1. Now, f of x1 into f of x2 is equal to 3 into minus 1. That means minus 3. Therefore, f of x1 into f of x2 less than 0. That means the cubic equation having 3 real and distant roots. Having 3 real and distant roots. Okay.